question.
Stand a little over here because you blocked the phone.
I think I'm getting a tangle.
To your left, please. Perfect. Proceed.
So, Camila asks it a question. Is there anybody here that would like to talk to us? Then you feel sort of a force on the planchette, and it slowly moves towards yes. We ask, what's your name? Suddenly it very quickly moves over to M. Camila asks, how old are you, M? It slowly moves down to 2 years old. We suspect it was a dead 2-year-old. And then it started going from 0 and counting up. Now the important thing you have to know about Ouija boards, if the spirit starts to count from 0 to 9, or count down from 9 to 0, or starts going through the alphabet, it's either an evil spirit or a demon. So immediately we say goodbye. And we pull the planchette quickly over to goodbye. Just then, as we quickly pull it away, our friend Marcus lets go of the planchette. This is a bad thing. You do not want to let go of the planchette. It's basically allowing the spirit to make contact with you and your body. So then, after a few more sessions, talking to different spirits, our friend Marcus is completely quiet. He seems very angry. He's extremely tense. He starts drooling from his mouth. We even tell him, we're like, hey Marcus, you're drooling, man. He's all like,
No,
that's not drool, it's sweat.
That's what he said.
So we're like, are you nuts? And finally after, like, we're all sitting there around the Ouija board. And he starts scratching his chest, like, really hard. We don't know why. He's just sitting there scratching his chest like there's like a bee or something stinging him. And our friend Shelby...
Who slapped him?
No, our friend Shelby grabs his hand, like, hey, what's wrong? And she tries to look, because he was wearing dog tags at the time, so she figured it might be entertaining his skin. So when she tries to pull the tags out from underneath his shirt, he grabs her and tugs her, squeezing her hand very hard. We don't know why he does this. Just sitting there, blank expression, squeezing her, pulling her, trying to harm her, in almost like any way he can. After we got done with the session, blew out all the candles, we'd be talking to him, and he'd just have a blank stare. We'd have to either shake him or yell at him to get his attention. And he'd act surprised, like, wait, what? What's going on? And at one point, after the session, he gets really dizzy. Really dizzy. Like, he's about to fall over, like fall asleep. So he sits down on the couch and just falls back. He enters like this blank stare. I'm like, Marcus, are you okay, man? And I pat his chest, and he grabs my hand and starts squeezing really hard, like if he was trying to break my fingers. So...
Did you punch him in the face?
No. I figured it's something that's called a partial possession.
You should have punched him in the face.
When evil spirit or demon is trying to force a person's soul out of their body so they can have life again.
Well,
they can retake it.
Max, it's actually half possession because he's actually
It's
taking over half his
partial
body.
possession.
So partial would be little, as in
you
he'd
can't
still
take...
have control.
Listen
It doesn't
to the
matter.
story.
Finish
Listen.
the story!
So, our friend Marcus is undergoing a partial possession, and from then, he's giving me like this horrible stare, and he starts drooling again.
And you sweating.
He starts shaking, like uncontrollably. His whole body is just wigging out. He's flipping the fuck out right there in front of us.
Pause. Okay.
Wait.
You should have clicked his nipple and said pause. And then clicked the other one and said play.
Okay, continue.
It's so full.
You always have your butt crack out.
It's because my butt is big.
I know.
All right, go.
I can still see it.
So,
Stop looking.
Proceed.
I'm fearing for my friend's life here
Don't drink
because
my
I know that the demon is trying to possess his body. So I start to scream at him that he can't take the vessel, he can't take my friend's body, that he's not welcome there. I let him know that I'm angry with him. I let the spirit know that he is very unwelcome, that he cannot take my friend's body. He will not take his body. From there, Marcus slowly starts to regain consciousness, and he begins coughing uncontrollably.
Now
Does
you
black
punch-
smoke
He
come out
stops
of his
breathing
mouth?
for a
Did you
moment.
punch him in the chest?
No, he stops breathing for a moment. Like he can't breathe. His whole body freezes.
Oh,
He's over.
I don't know why. I just got really cold.
So usually, what happens after a Ouija board session, the spirits usually use your energy to move the planchette. So his energy was partially drained. So we decided to give him some food. We give him a bowl of Cocoa Puffs,
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles, or whatever. And he starts to eat it. Starts to eat it.
Right.
That was pretty good. I like that.
He regains consciousness once more after eating. And little by little, he starts to act like his old self. But he says to us that during the session, we only contacted one spirit. And we'd only been using the Ouija board for 10 minutes. When in actuality,
I don't
we'd
wanna
been
put it on
using the
floor.
Ouija board for a whole hour and 30 minutes. And we contacted several different spirits. Somehow, he skipped an entire 40 minutes. Because from what he told us, one moment we were down on the planchette speaking to M, the evil spirit, and the next he was standing there eating Cocoa Puffs.
This must have been some good ass Cocoa Puffs. Snap them out.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
So, my story is,
It's like Supernatural.
the moral of my story is, if you guys ever use
Ouija board, do not take your hand off the thingy.
the planchette,
The planchette.
do not insult the spirits because they will fuck with
Hey,
you.
bitch.
They will hurt you.
Your mother's
Regardless
a
of what you think, of what you believe, of what you've heard, what you've read, they will hurt you. They will haunt you.
That's true.
Go get
they
the
will
Ouija board,
follow
Sensei.
you.
Do you have one?
You better not do a Ouija board at my house.
You were so negative.
No.
In the chicken coop.
No.
Hell no.
Chicken?
Moral of the story, be careful and be respectful to the spirits if you ever use a Ouija board.
Don't ever do it at my house. Nope.
Nope. I'm doing it everywhere.
Who's next?
I'm doing your
Oh,
bedroom.
Sensei, you don't want us to be possessed?
All right.
At one point,
You guys are already possessed.
I was
What if it makes
By
us
what?
Wait.
fighter?
Shh. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
Well, if
like-
it- hold on. Wait.
Joe,
No.
Wait.
Bro.
Okay,
You
say it
fart,
quickly.
I'll
Say
hit
it
you with the
quickly.
guitar.
No, I'm not gonna fart. Listen.
Ah.
If it makes you a better fighter, then yes, it's fine. Okay.
Okay, continue.
Anyways, okay,
God, Max.
what?
Max, don't.
So at one point,
No, your jacket.
Stupid.
At one point in the session, I asked it if it enjoyed talking to us, and it was like, no. And I asked it, are you angry? And it was like, no. I mean, it was like, yes, sorry. And then I asked it, is one of the people in the room making you angry? And it was like, yes. And I asked if it was the boy with the green shirt. And it said, yes, because Mark is wearing a green shirt. And I was like, is it his, like, what did I ask?
Appearance.
No, I asked something before appearance.
No, you asked if it was his appearance.
I guess I did. But I asked if it was his appearance, and he said yes. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Is that the end?
There's another story about one time when we used the Ouija board. Was it the first time we used it at your house?
You got her house?
So,
Yeah.
use it at both your houses.
Why?
So, they heard whispers. Listen, I'm-
Oh yeah. So Camila summons. Well, we both did. We summoned 2 demons in my room.
And your mom opened the door.
And my mom opened the door. She yanks the planchette off the board, which is a terrible thing to do. And later that night, after she leaves, I'm sitting upstairs, laying back, relaxing, tra la la la, and I start hearing like these noises, like almost like little snaps. Then I feel like, for some reason, my ears are like extremely freezing, like if someone were holding ice cubes up against my ears.
That totally blows. I hate that feeling.
And then I hear these little whispers.
Did you see your breath?
Oh my god.
It was only in my ears.
Natural.
And I kept hearing these little whispers, like.
They're speaking German.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
like if somebody was talking in reverse. It was insane. And then,
That's an expensive place.
Taco Bell.
You don't
and
eat it?
then my entire body,
It's hot?
starting from the top of my head,
I'm serious.
my entire body starts to go cold. And I have to wrap up. And eventually, I fall asleep. So I wake up in the middle of the night, sometime around 2 in the morning.
Dave, I swear, if you fart.
So, sometime at 2 in the morning.
totally will fart.
Sometime at 2 in the morning, I wake up.
You're trying to tell a story you hear.
Dave, sit down.
He's trying to shake it out.
Dave.
Mom, I got this.
Okay, you woke up.
So I wake up at like 2 in the morning. I start hearing these whispers again. And it starts to get really cold again. And I didn't tell her this because I didn't want to freak her out, but like I see this sort of dark figure start to form at the foot of my bed. So I start to flip out, like I'm like, holy. There's a dark freaking figure standing in front of my bed, just like this, like if it was leaning in, staring at me.
Awkward.
And I'm staring at it, and I quickly look
Try to,
away
like,
so I can
It's
turn the
kind of
light,
hard
and
to
I
keep
look
making it
again,
go faster.
And it's gone.
Until he's.
and it's freaking gone. So I'm flipping the fuck out. I go outside of my room, and my little bird is sitting there,
My little pony.
Billy. And yeah, and I'm so scared that I pull him in and I put him in my room, so he starts making noises.
I know where it is.
So basically, I was so scared to sleep alone in my room that I pulled the bird in there to keep me company.
Is that the end of the story?
Twice.
Is that it?
Please continue.
I used to sleep with my dog in the
Oh, that's
bed.
it. That was just.